Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to our Minnesota Twins discussion here, this Twins Talk show we have going on. And just a little heads up, I'm going to be flip-flopping the two discussions that I had planned for today and tomorrow. Today I'm going to be talking about the Twins, what they should do as a pitching lineup instead of the bullpen. I will be talking about the bullpen tomorrow, 3 videos coming your way then. But for now, let's just jump into this pitching idea, this lineup that I have for how the Twins can execute and I think be contenders pitching-wise. So we know that the Twins are not that good pitching. I guess there's really no way around that. They've kind of struggled in the past, they've really struggled in the past. Last year, probably one of their better years, and our hitting let us down and our defense let us down last year, but overall, it's really been the pitching that has gotten us into trouble. And I've said that in the weakest link video. Go check that out if you haven't already. I go farther in depth into why pitching is such a struggle for the Twins. But in this episode, we're going to be talking about how we can fix it. So basically, I don't want to call this the opener. I really don't have a good idea for what it should be called, but I really think, in theory at least, it works pretty much fantastically. So here we go. The Minnesota Twins have basically 3 to 5 good pitchers. 2 of them could be ace quality. The other 3 are just kind of there to fill out the rotation, but they're not bad. They're a little streaky, but they're not bad. Barrios and Gibson are the 2 guys that we rely on most for, the ace spot, the 1-2, basically who should be able to get us in deep into games, let it cross maybe a couple runs every now and then, but they should be pretty solid. Barrios obviously is a strikeout guy. Gibson likes getting ground balls. And those 2 guys are very different play styles, but they both should be able to do their job very well. They did a pretty good job last season, and I think they will continue it this year. So we have 2 really good guys. And then we have players like Romero, Gunslavs, and then Odorizzi, a couple more guys in there that could step up into the starting role. Maybe Trevor May if he wanted to come back up to the starting rotation. But for this idea, we need 3 guys. And here's why. A 5-day rotation, it does good because you're not putting as much pressure on the arm as, maybe a 3-day rotation. However, it's because they're pitching 100 pitches. So this is my idea. You take 3 guys, Gibson, Barrios, Odorizzi, maybe Romero, maybe Gunslavs, whoever you want in the starting rotation, put them, in there. You can readjust it as you want, but 3 guys. They go a maximum of 4 innings, and they're done. They get cut, they're done, unless they have a perfect game or no-hitter, whatever, unless it is absolutely, a must to keep him in. You take him out after 4 innings. And the reason being, this allows them, 3 or 4 innings to only pitch roughly 60, 70, 75 pitches most. That way, they can get on a 3-day rotation where they're not abusing their arm and they're still pitching quality innings. They're getting through the top, or at least the lineup, one time, and they're not abusing their arm. They can get in, get out very quickly, and that will lead us into the second part of this strategy. So just to recap that one more time, you have 3 very good starting pitchers. They go a maximum of 4 innings, and that will allow you to hopefully keep the opponents to scoring a minimum of a couple runs maximum. Hopefully, obviously, the first time through the lineup, it's kind of a pitcher battle anyways, or a pitcher has the advantage because he, can throw different pitches, and the batters haven't seen them yet. They've only watched film, but obviously a pitcher can change and readjust. So the point of the strategy then would be to only allow the lineup to be seen one time by the pitcher. So we head into the 5th and 6th inning now. These 2 innings are going to be basically managed by the best closer you have, and I would suggest 2, maybe a 3rd guy, depending on, maybe the day or how you want to structure your bullpen. So you go 3 starters, 4 innings maximum, 70 pitches. They can still pitch every 3rd day. In the 5th and 6th inning, you take your 2 best relievers, your closers, whoever, you put them in the 5th and 6th inning to shut down the lineup. If you're looking at it through a game perspective, 1, 2, 3, if they go down perfectly. 1, 2, 3, that's one time through the lineup. 4, maybe the first guy sees the starters again. But by the time you get to, the 5th and 6th innings, you're getting to the middle part of the lineup again. And that is where you want the closer to come in and shut them down. So you bring in, right now for the Twins, we don't really have a fantastic bullpen. Again, I'll go into more detail on that tomorrow. But you have Hildenberger, Trevor May, Taylor Rogers, Addison Reed. Those 4 guys basically our entire bullpen. Addison Reed kind of struggled last year, didn't have as much of a year as we want him to, maybe as he did with the Cubs, but he didn't have, a bad year. I think just a little bit more work will help him. Trevor Hildenberger is basically our closer now. Then you've got Taylor Rogers, who in the last 16 innings he played, he only gave up I can't even remember how many hits. But he gave no runs and no runs. Was it no hits either? I can't really remember actually, but he didn't allow any runs and he had quite a few strikeouts. He was basically our best left-handed pitcher in the bullpen. And then Trevor May, he's got a good fastball and he used to be a starter. So basically you put, let's just say Hildenberger and Rogers in this spot in the 5th and 6th, you shut down the middle of the lineup and you take them out again. Keep them in that rotation so they can pitch every other day or so. You've got 2 guys. If they throw a maximum of 25 pitches, I think a closer can easily do 25 to 30 pitches. He's a closer for a reason, supposed to strike. If he strikes everybody out, it would be 18 pitches ideally, 3-3-3, 3-3-3, get out 18 pitches. Obviously, it doesn't work like that all the time, but that would be the theory behind it, and then they would be able to pitch, let's say, every other day. So you've got a 3-day rotation for the starters, a 2-day rotation for the bullpen, and now in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, that leaves you for another starter. I guess you could put a starter, a long reliever, this kind of player where they have, like I say, they have a starter stamina, they have a starter's pitch selection, but they're not, used to working out of the bullpen. They're not only going to be in there for, a batter or two, where it's just a matchup battle. They're in there, they are basically a starter, and they're able to punch it home in the last 3 innings. Again, only allowing the batters to see you one time. That's the whole trick behind this. You want to start out strong with your starters. Nail them in the bullpen with your 2 good closers. So there's no runs, hopefully being across the board. And then the final time, you can just shut it down with, let's just say 7. You got a 12-guy bullpen, 7 guys coming out of the starting role that are able to go 3 innings. And obviously, even if they go 2 innings, the 7th and the 8th, and play matchups in the 9th, they are able to, pitch. You're basically playing the game backwards. Instead of playing matchups at the end, you're kind of playing matchups in the beginning, in the first couple of innings, and you're stretching it out longer so your starters are able to throw more, and your relievers are still starters, and they are able to go into the game like it's a starting game where it's, they're able to, it's kind of, I'm sure you guys know what I'm saying. It's just the starters that are in the bullpen they're in this situation before as the starter so they can close it out in the bullpen. I guess that's the simplest way to say it. So again, if you even want to go the 7th and the 8th, play matchups lefty-righty in the 9th, you should, in theory, be able to win, like I say, almost every game by doing this, and you're not wearing out your guys. And the reason I say this is because the Twins, the pitching has been struggle-ish. Struggle-ish? That's not a word, but I made it a word. They've struggled. And, we have 3 decent starter pitchers. Let them go start. Let them play their game. But then, nail them in the bullpen. Nail them with a starter that, like I said, we can go pick up. Marco Estrada. I know you guys in the comments have said don't pick him up. And, you guys make some great points. Just for this example, though, Clay Buchholz, Irving Santana, Estrada, these older veteran guys that have, been starters in the past, put them in the bullpen. Let them run with this extended, basically they're starters being put in the bullpen for an extended period of time, a long reliever. Let them do that. They're still a starter just coming out of the bullpen. and they can still finish, 3 innings. That, again, allows them to pitch more. It makes a lot of sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. If you have any questions, though, definitely leave them down in the comments, and I can try to answer them a little bit better through words instead of maybe my voice here. So, just to recap the whole thing one more time, 3 starters, they go 4 innings maximum, maybe even go 3. Then, you can work in the 2 really strong bullpen guys, hopefully every other day. They pitch a maximum of 2 innings, and then you go into the long bullpen session, the 4 innings, and you can work, matchups, or not really matchups. You have a really good long reliever, and then you can play matchups if you really want to in the 8th or the 9th. So it's a little bit more choppy of pitching instead of just let's go with our starter, then we'll play bullpen. It's like mini bullpen session.